I feel weird. I look like a schoolgirl in 19 something. Anyway, okay. Hey guys, my name is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. Another video in the video marathon. I have no idea what day it is. I'm filming all of these videos in one day, and this is the 5th. Anyway, we're gonna talk about my least favorite books of this year. I think I made a list of 10 last year, but this time I only took 6. So this video is not gonna be the longest. And please, if you liked any of these books, don't be offended. This is not an attack on your personal preference or on your taste. It's just books that I did not enjoy as much as I did the others. I think we're going to start right away. We're going to start with number 6 leading up to number 1. So least favorite to least favorite. If that made sense. Number 6 is a classic, which I actually expected to love because it's sort of like a gothic dark classic, a novella by Henry James, The Turn of the Screw. I sadly just couldn't connect to the writing. I was listening to this book and maybe I should have read it. If I ever need to analyze it, I will gladly do so. But just listening to it was just not enjoyable for me. I wanted to get it over with as soon as possible. And that's something you shouldn't say, whatever it is you're doing. So it wasn't that enjoyable. The Turn of the Screw is again a classic from 19 something, and it's about a governess taking on a job in Bly, and she takes care of 2 kids in Bly Manor. And if that plot sounds familiar to you, it's because the show The Haunting of Bly Manor is based on this book, which I recommend much more than the book. It was fun reading it and then comparing it to the show. I just thought it was really confusing at times. I couldn't follow the story sometimes. Maybe that's a personal issue, but I just did not like this classic that much, and I did not like James's writing style. We'll see. I'll read something else of him and then I'll get back to you. Another sort of thriller that I listened to was Don't Let In the Cold by Keely Parrick. This is about Lottie and Jade, and they just recently became sisters because their parents recently got married, or married each other. So, mom and dad, you know how this works. They don't really get along, they don't know each other that well, and suddenly they're alone in a cottage, or more like a house. I don't think it's a cottage. More like a house in the hills, and there's a snow hazard, and they're snowed in, and they have no chance of escape, but then they have to stay in the cold the entire time of the book. So I don't know, the title was so misleading because they did spend the entire time outside, even though it says don't let in the cold. I expected something more of intruders trying to get into the house. Instead, they just ran around in the forest and tried to stay alive, and it was just not thrilling to me. The love story was also so unnecessary. Why does every single book has to include a freaking love story? In that space, it just did not make any sense to me. It was just convenient, you know, oh, you have a male character coming in and you have a female character and they have a connection and they can't be friends. Of course not. They have to be together. I didn't like it. I don't know, I felt like this book was so not my cup of tea, but also, I don't know, it didn't leave a good impression. I don't know what I said in my wrap up. Sometimes I look back on this, on these videos, and I'm like, I was so mean in my least favorite books. When I filmed the wrap ups, I was like, oh yeah, I thought this book was good, but upon reflection, I hated it. So yeah, this is reflected now. This is, I know much more now. We're at number 4, and this place goes to Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikatsu Kawaguchi. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And I hate to say this because I really wanted to enjoy this book just because it's short. I love the idea. So it's about a cafe in Japan, and when you visit that cafe and when you sit at a particular seat and have your coffee, you're able to travel in time. And I thought the idea was so original and so cool, but I hated the writing style. I just did not like it at all. I thought it was very bland and very distant. I couldn't connect to the characters at all, even though some of the stories were really emotional. Like one was about 2 lovers, one was about a daughter and a mother. So human relations and dynamics that I thought would affect me, but sadly because of the writing style, I did not care. And that is kind of sad. I don't know. I was really disappointed. Obviously, it's totally fine if something is not my cup of tea. That's why I'm making this video, otherwise I would not share my least favorite books of 2022. But you know, this one in particular really disappointed me because I really wanted to like it, especially because there are other books in that series and I just didn't. Wah. Okay, we're already at number 3. It's I Kissed Cheraw Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. God, I hated this book. Chloe Green is a very ambitious girl, and she wants to win valedictorian, and the only person really stopping her from that is Cheraw Wheeler. If you watch Pretty Little Liars and if you know Alison De Laurentiis, Cheraw is just like her. Except that I think she's nice. I think she's nicer than Alison. But the concept, you know, of it all is exactly the same. And just look at the cover. I mean, it looks exactly like Sasha P.C. I watched too much Pretty Little Liars recently. Anyway, Cheraw starts to play a game, kind of like Schnitzeljagd in German. It's kind of like, I don't know what it is in English. I forgot. I'm gonna put it here. She's kind of teasing Chloe, and they have sort of a romantic connection to each other, but Cheraw has a boyfriend Smith, and Smith has an ex-friend Rory, and they have a connection. You're like, wait, what the hell is going on? And again, I was more focused on the boys. I was more focused on, you know what, I want them to get together because I thought they were much more sympathetic and just nice. I couldn't stand Chloe. I just couldn't. Yes, she's ambitious, and I love ambitious girls. I'm the last person who says, oh, girls need to be, you know, can't be loud or something. I just hated the way she thought about others, and how she talked about others, and also how she talked to others. The writing of this book was horrible. It's set in high school, but please tell me that no one talks like that. I don't know, I felt like this was written by someone who has no idea how young people talk nowadays. And I don't know if I'm getting old. I don't think so. I think the characters in this book are 16, 17, and I'm turning 21 in 2 months. I'm not that far away from high schoolers. I went to a German high school, but do they really talk like that? I don't think so. It was horrible to read. I hated it. As if anyone talks like that. I have an example in my wrap-up. Please watch it if you're interested, because God, and I couldn't root for Cheraw or Chloe's connection, which I hated. I thought it was toxic. I thought it was bad from the start. And it had this like rivals to lovers energy. And I do like enemies to lovers. But their tension just felt really, really bad. And not in the fun way. I just couldn't root for their romance. Sorry. I just didn't like it. And it was one of the books I anticipated for this year, so it was even more disappointing. This year was really bad for sapphic love stories in my book, so in the books that I've read, because the next book is also one that has a sapphic love story, and I didn't like it. She's Too Pretty to Burn by Wendy Hurd. Veronica and Mixed Connection, I didn't like it. Also toxic, non-consensual at times. Not when it came to sexual or like physical matters. I don't think it was non-consensual when it came to that, but it was non-consensual in multiple ways. You know, I think Veronica is a photographer and Mick is the most beautiful girl she has ever seen, which is actually kind of cute, right? But then Veronica takes pictures and then, you know, she doesn't take them with Mick's consent and then also does some other shit. And this book also tackled the discussion on like climate activists, which right now in Germany we have like a huge discussion on it, but we weren't talking about the last generation when I read this book. So I just didn't like how the author, or in general this book, made climate activists seem like, because you know, not all climate activists kill people. Obviously one's view, or just one view on one person, isn't universal and shouldn't be generalized, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like the picture that it painted, and I also did not like the characters. Mick was just beautiful but tired of being beautiful, and Veronica just wanted the next big thing and was never satisfied, in my opinion. And thank goodness I forgot most of what happened in this book. I just remembered I did not like it. Sorry. If you have any good recommendations for sapphic books, I have a lot on my list and I plan on reading them, but if you have any, please leave them in the comments. I need more lesbians in my life. We arrived at number 1. It's kind of like the same thing last year, because number 1 was also a book about a love story that I anticipated. It's another sequel, and I hated it. Last year it was Any Way the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell, the last part in a trilogy that I really liked, and the last part was so bad, I hated it. And this year we have Husband Material by Alexis Hall. I read Boyfriend Material, so the prequel to it, last year in April. It was actually the first audiobook I listened to. I liked it. I think my taste in like genre has changed since then, my taste in writing, but I did like it. It was about Luke and Oliver, and they start having a fake relationship. It's like fake relationship to real relationship trope. I do like that one. I do. I'm a sucker for that. I really liked the relationship, and this time it was Husband Material. When it was announced, I was screaming. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. I'm also a sucker for like the marriage trope. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. My parents are divorced, but I don't, if it's fiction, it's great. Especially if it's gay. So I was so excited. I got the book and I listened to it, and God, I was annoyed after minute 2. Because the whole story is told by Luke's perspective, and Luke, I can't remember if Luke was already this annoying last year when I listened to like Boyfriend Material in the last book. God damn it. I hated listening to him tell the story because all of Luke's and all of his friends are getting married, and then they're thinking, well, maybe we should get married. We've been dating for 2 years, I think, which is not even that long. And they were like, okay, yeah, we should do this. I did like the ending. I did like how that was dealt with, but their relationship had to overcome thousands of obstacles just because of Luke, because he couldn't get his shit together. I know what it's like not getting my shit together, but usually what I'm trying is not to let other people suffer because of it, especially not my loved ones. And every single thing Luke fucked up in this book affected Oliver, his boyfriend and then fiance, in a really, really horrible, bad way. Also, the word fucking was on every single page. I hated it. Again, I say this multiple times. I'm not against profanities in books. Absolutely not. But this was so annoying. Or in Luke's words, this was fucking annoying. There was one comment that made me gasp, that made me stop, and it was like, you did not just say that. I can't believe that the author and the editors and everyone around publishing this book kept this in, especially this year. It was a very offensive comment. Just, you know, it was a side note. It was just like a joke. It was so bad. I actually do not want to put it in this video. If you're interested, you can watch my, I think it was August wrap up. I'll link it down below and I will tell you the minute and where I say it, so you don't have to look for it. But I don't want to trigger one this video. Honestly, I want to keep this video nice and, you know, even though we're talking about books that I didn't like, I don't want to include that in this video because I thought, oh my god, are you kidding me? But yeah, that was another reason why I did not like the book. The whole story in general wasn't that horrible, the concept wasn't that horrible, and the ending I did like. But Luke fucking everything up, fucking annoying. Get out of my face. I don't wanna... Luke was the most annoying person I've ever met. And when I say that, it says a lot. Because when people don't like me, the first thing they say about me is that I'm annoying. But Luke was... no. Bye. Don't want to see you. Oliver deserved better. And it's always the books that I anticipated the most, that of course then can disappoint the most, which is, it just sucks. And actually, end this video on this note. This was short, I hope. I mean, I filmed for 20 minutes, but you know, editing me will take care of that. And yeah, these were my least favorite books of this year. I think it was good that I only had 6, that I only despised 3 of, so it's a good outcome. 2022 wasn't that bad. Let me know what books you didn't like this year. I love finding out what other people really didn't like. My favorite books of this year will come probably tomorrow or even on the same day. I haven't decided that yet. Depends on how fast editing me works. Hi again. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below what you would like to see next. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't and click the bell next to the subscription button to never miss an upload. I'll update you guys on everything on my Instagram. All the links to my social media and important links I want you guys to check out are in my description box. And other than that, I filmed my 5th video of the day. I am sick of talking, so I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye! I'm confusion. This cheap... ugh. That's how you do it, people. Yeah. Translation, I just said there's a dog hair on my tongue. Okay. Meine Fresse. Was ist denn los? Since then. Okay, it's gotta be enough. Bye. Sorry. Bye.